Hi, welcome back to Half of Heidi, or welcome in general if this is the first video of mine that you've ever seen. So first things first, obviously I am a lot better health-wise than I was last week. In my video I couldn't even get out of bed. I had gastro at that point about 3 weeks, and I ended up having gastro for the rest of the week. And then on, I think it was Thursday, I was finally given some really specific antibiotics that were more targeted to treat whatever the hell it was I had, which I still don't even know what I had, because I had a stool sample taken, and my doctor, my GP, left a script for antibiotics at the reception for me, so I didn't have to have an appointment to see her. But ultimately that means I actually don't know what the results were. What I do know though is that the antibiotics that I was given are also used to treat anthrax and the plague. So I know now that if I had either of them I'm cured, but I don't know, it just makes me think it must have been something pretty nasty, especially considering it, you know, it lasted for 4 weeks, and yeah, was not pleasant. But the good thing about feeling so sick is when you don't feel sick anymore, how much better feeling good feels, if that makes sense. Like it feels so good to feel so good, if that even makes sense. So yeah, I feel really good. Anyway, 10 weeks post-op today. I know I say this every week, but time is absolutely flying. In the past 10 weeks, actually, you know what? I think I had to wait like 9 or 10 weeks to have the surgery when I first had my appointment with my surgeon. So it's kind of like the surgery really was the midway point of my journey so far in terms of seeing the surgeon through to today. So it's kind of cool. Stats wise, let's do those, and I've got them all written down, of course. So my highest weight was 191.7 kilograms, which is 422.6 pounds. In case I haven't mentioned it, I'm 5'8". And when I say I haven't mentioned it, I guess I mean haven't mentioned it recently. I know I've mentioned it before. Yeah, so highest weight, 191.7 kilograms, 422.6 pounds. On the day of surgery, I was 179.9 kilograms, or 396.6 pounds. Last week I weighed in at 151.1 kilograms, which is 333.1 pounds. This week I weighed in at, drumroll please, 148.9 kilograms, or 328.2 pounds. So I lost 2.2 kilograms, or 4.9 pounds last week. Since the surgery, so in the last 10 weeks, I've lost 31 kilograms exactly, which is 68.3 pounds. All up, including the 4-week pre-op diet, so the 14 weeks altogether, I've lost 42.8 kilograms, which is 94.3 pounds. Wow, getting so close to the 100 pounds. It's mind-blowing. But anyway, yeah, drum roll, because I am now under 150 kilograms, which I am super excited about. I'm actually not even sure how many years ago I weighed less than 150 kilograms. Although, you know, it's kind of funny because I also think about, like, 150 kilograms is still quite heavy. Like, it's still double what my healthy weight range says I should be. So it's really strange to be excited about weighing 150 kilograms, or just less than 150 kilograms, but I'll take it. I've lost 42.8 kilograms, or 94.3 pounds, which means I don't know how many weeks exactly, maybe another 4 weeks away from being around the halfway mark in terms of weight loss. That's so cool. I worked out today as well that there's 42 weeks to go to get me to the 7th of November this year, which is my 1 year anniversary. Well, actually, it'll be the 8th of November, but it's a Tuesday, is the 7th, whatever. And in order to lose, or in order to get to my goal weight, which was around 88 kilograms, I'd need to lose about 1.5 kilograms a week for the next 42 weeks. So I had a look at my average losses, and they seem to be, well, the app I'm using, the Monitor My Weight app, says that my average losses are 3 kilos or something like that. But I'm sure when I just had a look in my Excel tracking sheet, I'm sure it was 2 point something or other kilograms. So I don't know what to believe. But either way, it's still higher than the 1.5. So I know that as I lose weight, I will also have smaller losses per week. So I'm kind of hoping that it's going to be a bit of a curve, and I'll have like, you know, the big losses to begin with, and obviously as the losses get less, but even the small losses towards the end are significant enough that I make up that whole, you know, 100, I think it's 103 point something or other kilograms that I want to lose in the 12-month period. So that's kind of good, knowing, I guess, sort of roughly the weekly goal, what I should be aiming for. It's only, if I could do maths, 6 kilograms a month-ish. That is actually a lot better than what I had been thinking in my head, which was more likely like to be 10 kilograms a month that I thought I'd need to lose. So, yeah, thinking it's 6 kilograms a month makes me feel like it's a lot more achievable. So yeah, I don't know. Watch this space, see how I go. I'm hopeful that I can maintain that kind of a weight loss. And the reality is, you know, making good food choices, drinking enough water, and then getting exercise is what's going to make or break that goal. And at the moment, I'm actually looking into various different exercise options. Obviously, there is the free walking around the neighbourhood. Then there is getting in the car and driving somewhere a little bit more scenic to do a walk. We don't have any bicycles or anything like that, so I can't go for a ride. And I don't know if I am confident enough to go for a ride. I'm just really worried about cars, so I don't know if that's an option. We're also looking at gym memberships versus renting a treadmill versus buying a second-hand treadmill, so that I've got some options, because Queensland at the moment and here in Australia, and actually a lot of other states in Australia at the moment, are really suffering some high temperatures and high humidity, and you pretty much have to wait until the sun has gone down before you can do any exercise. Well, me anyway. And I don't know, by that time of night, which is around like 6:45 at night, I'm usually tired. Like, I've usually done a full day's work and I'm usually exhausted by that time, and I struggle to get the motivation. And then obviously sunrise is also really early in the morning, and I am absolutely not a morning person, so I really can't see myself getting up in the morning to go for a walk. I am sure I would be resetting my alarm clock and waking up later the second it went off. But you've got to keep it real, right? You've got to know what your preferences are, what your limitations are, and all that sort of stuff. So I think, I think gym membership or getting a secondhand treadmill at home where I can exercise in the aircon is a little bit more realistic for me in terms of helping me to stay motivated. Anyway, food-wise, I'm doing really well with food and fluid, and that's mostly because I finally got over the gastro, and that was making it really hard to eat and drink because I just felt nauseous all the time. So yeah, drinking wise has gone really well. I got really, really sick of cordial, like really sick of cordial. So what I have been doing is potentially a little bit naughty, I'm not sure, because I mean it's still sugar free, but I've been getting like sugar free soft drink, and then I've been pouring half of it into a bottle so that there's only half left, and then I take the lid off and then pretend this is half full, and then I squeeze the bottle so that there's air has been taken out of the bottle, and I put the lid back on. Then I shake it up. And what it does, although I've already done it so it's not going to show you a very good example, what it does is actually it releases the carbonated oxygen from the fluid, and this actually will expand, and then you just take the lid off, that'll expand back up, and you just do that maybe 2 or 3 times, and it just flattens the soft drink straight away, so you can just drink it like that. Hang on, this is going to make a sound as I put the air back into it, sorry. But it means that I can have all of the different flavours of diet drinks without the bubbles. But yeah, the fact that it's still going to have like artificial sweeteners in it isn't good, because your body still treats that like sugar and you will crave sweet things. So it's not good that I'm doing that, but at the same time I'm drinking more quantity-wise because of that. I wouldn't be drinking as much if I was just having cordial. So I'm kind of trying to weigh the pros and the cons, and at the moment, if that means I'm actually going to be getting, you know, nearly 2 litres a day as opposed to 750 millilitres, then I think it's okay that I do that in the short term. Unless someone comments and says why that's a really bad idea. But yeah, all the bubbles have been removed. It's totally flat, and it's, yeah, really, really easy to drink. It sits perfectly in my tummy. I don't have any problems like I do with water and cordial. So I don't know, that's just what I've been doing. Food wise, like I said, I'm eating really well. I'm loving Vita Wheat crackers at the moment, the ancient grains and seeds. Oh my god, they're so good. And they're obviously they're a lot more dense than a Crusket. So and they're like visually they're smaller than a Crusket, but they're dense, so you still feel, actually you probably feel fuller with them than a Crusket. So no, I really like them, and I've been putting avocado on them. It's really yummy. But I've really got to pay more attention to my protein intake. I'm not getting enough protein, so I'm going to have to up the meat portion, meat and egg portion of my diet. Yeah, and I've also got to watch carbs because I really, really love pasta. And I don't want to completely deprive myself of pasta, but I need to make sure that I'm really balancing it with the protein portion size. So, what? I have no idea what I'm saying. I completely lost my train of thought. Yeah, got to make sure I'm having enough protein and watch those nasty carbs. But yeah, I can't not have any pasta because I love pasta. Even though I'm not Italian, got a German background, so I'm not entirely sure why I love pasta so much, but I bloody love it. But anyway, okay, so I also took some progress photos, body shots. So I'm going to put a link in the description box below to my 10-week progress photo. And it's really scary looking at the before photo. I don't know, I can tell now looking at that why I kind of waddled when I walked. I sort of like a bit of a Michelin man. And on the right, in the after photo, obviously, like I said, I'm still 148 point something or other kilograms, so I'm still big, but you know, I can, you know, there's less fat around the face, and I think my breasts have gotten smaller, and my midsection has gotten smaller, and my thighs are definitely getting smaller. Actually, you know, everywhere's getting smaller, maybe except for my calves, which is really frustrating. Maybe my arms are getting a little bit smaller. I have taken some photos like with the arms up and the fedorbitas wobbling, and I'm just not mentally prepared to look at the before and after of that yet, in case there isn't much of a difference. I've always hated my arms. Even when I was skinny, I hated my arms. So yeah, I don't want to look, but I don't know. I'll have to build up the confidence a bit to see what changes are happening there, because unfortunately I didn't think to measure my arms when I was starting out. I only measured my waist and hips, so I couldn't even tell you if I'd lost centimetres. I don't know. But yes. Anyway, so that photo will be in the description box if you would like to have a squeeze. Okay, so the second half of this video, I wanted to do my goals for this year. I was watching Ash Get Sleeved. Hi Ash. And she had started a tag video that was basically setting goals for the year, but based on how you want to feel, instead of starting with a list of things you want to do and things you want to achieve. And that really struck a chord with me, since I have many years of therapy and things, and it's all about how you feel and what you think, and what you do generates how you feel. So yeah, that really struck a chord with me. So I thought I would continue her tag, and yeah, share them with you, and that way maybe I'll be held a little bit more accountable, and I can, you know, report on them, going on them once a month or something like that. And I'd love to hear yours. So if you do, well, not if you, please do them, and I'll go check out yours. I don't know what I'm saying. I've lost the ability to speak. Okay, so the way that Ash structured hers was she did a bit of a, I don't want to feel these things, I want to feel these things, and consequently I'll do these things to feel that way. I'm skipping the I don't want to feel this way bit in my video, but I did do that as part of my coming up with the how I want to feel. And then I'll talk about, you know, some of my ideas in terms of what I should do in order to feel that way. So the first one is I want to feel free, unrestrained, and uninhibited. And what I mean when I say that is I want to not have either real or imagined things, barriers, that get in the way of me being able to do exercise, activities, go out, do whatever. So some of the barriers, the obstacles that I need to remove are definitely around fitness. Like I need to focus on my fitness, because if I'm invited to climb a mountain with someone, I don't want to have, like I said, whether it's a real or an imagined barrier to doing that. And if I was to ask to climb a mountain, well, the barrier would absolutely be my fitness. So I really want to focus on figuring out what are the things that stop me from doing or living life, and just crushing them, just absolutely crushing them. So a lot of them I think are going to be related to fitness. There's going to be some related to shyness in terms of, I guess, just feeling socially awkward in group settings. Another real barrier, and I don't know if I've ever talked about it on this channel, is I have hearing loss. So when I'm in a loud, group environment, not only am I shy and awkward, I also can't hear the conversation. So it's really hard to join in on the conversation because I don't know what everyone's talking about. And I have to ask people to repeat themselves a lot and things like that. So I think I need to really consider whether this is the year that I purchase some hearing aids, because I did trial some, I'm not sure if it was last year or the year before, but I just was really put off by the expense, mainly because I thought it's not really worth it, because I had turned into a hermit and wasn't leaving the house, and it just didn't seem like there was much point. But now I sort of figure if I want to get out there and experience more and spend time with more people, and I want to remove this obstacle, then maybe investing in hearing aids is something that I should finally do. Anyway, next one, I want to feel energetic and motivated. So I want to feel like I've got the energy to do things, and I also want to stay motivated when it comes to doing whatever it is I set out to achieve. And a lot of that is going to be like the small goals of, going for a walk every day and things like that. So obviously eating well is going to be really important with that. And I mentioned earlier about making sure I'm eating enough protein and things like that. I've downloaded an app, MyFitnessPal, recommended to me by some of the lovely peeps on one of the Facebook groups I'm in, so that I can track my food intake a lot better than I'm doing now, and strive to have the appropriate protein intake. Making it easy as easy as possible to do. So, when I mentioned earlier about gym memberships and secondhand treadmills, is to make it easy so that, when I finish work at, make it up 5 p.m, and I can just get up and then go, do my time on the treadmill and not have to wait until the sun goes down and it's cooler to be able to go walking. Or go to the gym, whatever, but just make it easier to stay motivated rather than, again, I guess finding excuses why not to do something. Anyway, I also want to feel self-confident. And what I mean in that one, I guess, is I really want to trust myself, and I really want to trust my instincts. I actually had my tarot read, my sister read my tarot for me last week. I've lost track of time. The week before. And there was a real underlying message about trusting my instinct and like my path. I will choose the right path so long as I trust my gut instincts. I tend to second guess myself all the time, and in fact a lot of the time I tend to talk myself out of things. So for me that's a really big focus for this year, is to have a lot of faith in my abilities and knowledge, and definitely gut instinct. And I think that's really just going to come about by practice. Once I've realised that, positive things come from trusting myself and, following my gut instinct and all that sort of stuff, then it just becomes like a learned behaviour, and I'll do it automatically. So I've kind of just got to take a leap of faith and start doing it, and then go from there. I want to feel enriched, and what I mean by that is I want to feel like I'm sucking in new experiences and new ways of doing things and new thinking and learning new things and just being exposed to difference and I guess I see that even as like traveling more, which also goes back to the whole, you know, stop being such a hermit and get out of the house and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I really want to feel like I'm expanding my little bubble this year. I want to, and I really want to try to expand it globally, not just within my own little world, but I really want to think big and know big things and yeah, just come out the end of this year feeling enriched. Hence that goal. And then my final one is I want to feel fulfilled and have a sense of accomplishment. And I kind of want that feeling every day. I want every day to be proud of what I've achieved, to be able to quantify what I've achieved. So if it is, you know, today I ate really well, I went for a walk, I, you know, did these 5 things off my to-do list at work, I did this, but I really want to feel like I've been productive and that I'm achieving the things that I set out to do. And I definitely need to, or not need to, I want to, but I do need to, but I want to refocus on work because I've felt a bit disconnected from my job and from my employer for the last maybe 6 months. And I'm starting a new role this year. I'm actually going to be on I'm doing one job until the end of April, and then I'll start another job, but in the same team. So I just really want to make the absolute best I can out of the next few months in the role that I'm currently doing. And I just really want to know that I've given it my best and not feel like I'm doing the bare minimum to scrape by, which is just so against how I normally work. But I think a combination of I was a little bit disengaged at work and also then, you know, being so focused on the surgery that I just really, and then having gastro and all that sort of stuff, that I'd lost that connection. So that's a really important one for me in terms of that sense of fulfillment and accomplishment. So, I mean, there's other things I want to feel, but they're things I want to feel every year. Like I want to feel happy and loved and all that kind of stuff. And they're just ongoing projects, really, in terms of, you know, family and friends and all that kind of stuff. So I really... Yeah, so it was really more about how have I previously felt, I don't want to feel anymore, on things that I really want to amplify this year. So I feel really positive about those as my goals for how I want to feel and some of the things I want to do to, you know, ensure that I can feel that way. If you do the video, or can you comment below if you have any goals in terms of how you want to feel as well, because I think it's really interesting. I got really inspired by Ash's video, and in fact I'll link it down below in the description box if you want to go check her video out. Helps in terms of formatting because she probably did it better than I did, but yeah, I just really enjoyed it. So this is another ridiculously long video. I'm looking at the time and I'm going, yep, it's like nearly half an hour long. Maybe I should have split this into 2 videos, but anyway, I don't care. So thanks for tuning in. If you've got any questions, please leave your comments. If you, I don't know, want to reach out and talk to me about anything, please do. Really, really, really love hearing from you. Hope you're all having an absolutely fantastic week. Hope your 2017 is off to a roaring start. And I'll catch you in my next video. Okay, bye.